Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another session on the couch. So as I said from the last video, we are going to rip this kitchen out and take the wall down and move the fridge. So yeah, what we're going to do is just quickly have a sort of like a tidy up of the kitchen area, get all the rubbish off the side, clear up some of the mouldy stuff that's sort of been left, but that's obviously most of it's down to damp, and the saucepan, which is there, was just me being lazy and didn't clean it. Oh well. But anyway, so we're going to clear all that out first, and then we're going to take the top off, undo all the plumbing, and take all the boards down, and yeah, get it all stripped down, ready to build the new one. So let's just get straight into it. Right, so I'd say job well done. That's that really wonky kitchen out of here. Just to show the extent of how wonky that wood is, check out that worktop. I mean, it's smiling at me. Glad I got rid of it. Right, so the next job is to take the wall down, which is this one here. So I'm going to strip all the electrics off it and take the fridge off there. And then what we're going to do is this little box that it's sat on, we're going to strip that box out and then drop the fridge down into that. And then we can start concentrating on putting the new wall in. So, another time lapse.
We're both compasses, and the people don't
after a bit of arsing about and fettling, we do have a kitchen fridge dropped into the hole. It was an absolute shit to get this top piece off because it had this horrible sort of shit stuck over the top of it. I can never remember the name of it. And we had to move the whole wall back from where it was. And obviously we've just re-braced it using the original braces. I've just stuck a little post there to stop it from wobbling. It does wobble about a bit, but I mean, it will get secured in time. But the good bit is it actually sits almost perfectly on these pieces here. I mean, when it's all adjusted slightly and made a bit better, it will look a lot better. I mean, we had to cut some of the upright out, so the wire are dangling off of there. We'll rewire it later. But yeah, so that was that's the result of that. So I think it's time for a coffee break, and then yeah, we're going to start framing this kitchen out and trying to get the sink back in place today, which is going to be a bit of a task, but hopefully a bit easier than trying to move that bloody fridge. So we'll just crack into it. So I have actually come up with a bit of an issue before we start this kitchen. We're not doing it tonight, mainly because we found something that most people don't want to see when it comes to metal. Let's just have a look. So the diesel heater's just firing up. So unfortunately, as you can see, we do have a bit of the old dreaded tin worm. Now luckily, most of it I think will grind off with a flat disc and we'll treat it before we frame the kitchen out. Anything like that, because it's all under here. And what we don't want is the windows to leak. I mean, you can see just how wet it actually is. I mean, that is pretty darn wet. So just peeled that away for now, and you can see just how bad it is. So what we're going to do for now is let that sort of dry out overnight. Hopefully it doesn't rain again, so it doesn't carry on leaking. And tomorrow we're going to treat this area. I'm going to cut that piece off there and treat that area before we actually frame this out, because at the moment there's no way we're going to put a kitchen in here with it leaking like that, because we don't want to be climbing underneath the frame and all that. That's really not happy, is it? No, I definitely think it's down to the fact it's got low, it must have like a low diesel state or something to stop it from flipping out completely. Well, we'll look at the diesel heater, put some fuel in it tomorrow and we'll see if it works. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to catch you in the morning. So in actual fact it's Saturday afternoon instead. Work. Anyway, so we are starting on the kitchen. We've got the generator going already. Diesel heater's on, so nice and warm. Refilled that. We had to play around with that, we'll show you later. And so far we are, let's just flip the camera around a minute. There we go. So at the moment we're just making the first part of the frame for the kitchen. We're going to reuse the old board that came out of the caravan that we kindly donated us the pieces that we needed, like sink and hob and stuff. Oh, that's just dust, no COVID. So yeah, so Andy there's just drilling some holes, ready to go, and then we'll get this all together. So I think we'll get it on the time lapse. Well, so we've obviously got the kitchen done. The fridge has now been sorted. Basically what was happening was the ventilation for the fan and everything sort of ran down here, and so just basically cut a little vent in there. We'll tidy this up later on, but is an issue. And well, I say there's an elephant in the room. There's a very, very wet elephant in the room. Whilst I've been in here today, it's been absolutely chucking, and I mean chucking it down. It hasn't stopped since, we've been here since about 11-12 o'clock this morning, and yeah, it's been raining pretty much non-stop after that. Now, we knew there was a little bit of a leaking issue, but actually being in here and seeing just how much it's dripping, I think we'll walk around and show you the drips. I mean, ignore the fact that this leaks, because obviously, well, the hatch basically blew off and ended up over the road somewhere. We'll go around and just start showing you the leaks, because one of them was actually quite dangerous, so which we've temporarily sort of not solved it, but we've just temporarily stopping the problem from getting any worse. So let's show you around what's going on. So, I don't know if you can see, I'll try and get the camera right in. So this is above the door, you can obviously see it dripping, but it's not just dripping in one place, it's dripping in two. So that's just dripping down, that's fine, that's not a problem. This one is a bit of a problem. There you go, you just see it dripping, it's just about to form another droplet. When it forms another one, we'll follow it down. So it's going to that corner there, just where the water tank is. Those two are an issue, obviously, because it's still water getting in, but not as bad as this one. So we've temporarily jerry-rigged a bucket here for a minute. Well, it's the basin for that. This one is the worst one, because let me just see if I can get my phone to shine a bit of light on it, show you actually what's happening and where it's going, because this one was a bit of a concern. So it's dripping into that bucket. Now that bucket's only been up for a matter of minutes. I've just heard another load of water come to me, and it's already filled that up. And you can see it's a steady drip. But that was actually dripping in that corner down there. I'm actually going to zoom the camera in so you can see it, so I'm not reaching over. In there is where all the wiring is running down into the crew compartment and down into the batteries. So I've had to stop this leak immediately just by popping that there. We are actually going to completely disconnect the batteries and the solar panel until we can get that sorted, unless we're up here and it's not dripping, because that just cannot happen. Also, I've just heard the fan is now dripping from somewhere. So I've just heard a load of water drip run down there in the last literally couple of 30 seconds or so. You can actually see the water there. You can see the drop, there you go. Over here, you can probably see it a bit better if I just stand on the ledge. So there yet again, we knew it was leaking over this area as soon as the tongue and groove went up. It's also just come from there as well. So there is actually a serious problem with this roof. More serious than we realised. It was part of the reason why we stopped putting any more tongue and groove up. So it's also going up there as well. This is actually really bad. It's the worst I've seen. I know that it's leaked in the past, but I can't. Oh, there we go. So right, it's not come from the fan. It's actually come from the tongue and groove and all the insulation that's just been put in. When I just pulled that down, loads and loads of water just came out, which means this is all got to come back down again, unfortunately. By the look of it, it's not going to come down today. I cannot be asked to move it. So yeah, so on a dry day, I'm going to have to get up there and deal with this leak. We know it's leaking around here, obviously, because sometimes when you pull this down, it will, well, it won't throw a bit of water out because I emptied it out a couple of minutes ago, but it is still really wet in there. Yeah, that's where the moulds come from. is all to do with that leak in the corner. I can't see it. Is that a leak up there as well? No. So it's not leaking along there. But there is, I can hear it dripping up here. We've got the torch seconder. Just trying to find out where else it's coming from. It's not coming from there.
I know it comes through these.
Yeah.
Not them ones, maybe the front one.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hear where that other drip just came from. Because I know it's slightly damp along there, but that I sort of put down to condensation, but maybe not. Yeah, there's a slight drip down from the back here, so it's running from somewhere up here. Wow, that's kind of stopped play for a moment. So, well, there you go. Pain in the asses of converting old coaches. So the idea that I think we're gonna go with is to get some gel coating and gel coat the roof as soon as we get a bit of dry weather, because all the hard work that's been done in here is gonna soon be just wrecked because of it. I'd like to use a stronger word than that, but I won't. So that's what it means really. We're gonna stop play for a while. We're just gonna, yeah, try and detect where the other leaks are. Going to go down and isolate all the electrics, stop it from actually dripping into there and potentially causing a fire, because we have actually been leaving the solar panel active and charging the batteries, and obviously nothing up here is switched on. So that's the lucky bit, apart from when we're here. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of an issue now where, like I said, we're either going to have to move the wiring away from the water for a minute just until we can sort that out, or like I say, we're going to have to wait for a dry day to get up there and coat the ceiling and, well, all the roof and try and stop these leaks. Because also I think a couple of them are also coming from the solar panels as well, where they've been fixed onto the roof. I think that the water's getting past where the screws have been, and is also causing the leaks further up the roof, sort of where I am now, which is on the very edge of the kitchen. So I'm going to have to try and look at that. What we're going to do is call the video there on that disappointment. Like, subscribe, do your usual. And what I shall do is off camera is try and detect where else it's leaking, and go from there really, and yeah, show you where it's leaking in the next video. And next video will probably be me trying to sort that out the best I can. So catch you in the next one. Let's hope we get more action from that one. See you soon.